Picture. There you go. Jackson Green. And that's number 14, Civic Hayes. And that's number 18, the President Vermont. And injection got on the line. That's wrong. No, I like it a lot. This is the road where the work you go around it, but then they put this out on the time. I was the little line, I was the block. I was the JC that we have in this one. I was the last step, listen to them.
Beautiful, lots of good terrain and everything.
Plus, I need that as two minutes as well. All right, here we go. Face off about to begin. And there's a face off. Vermont pulls it back to their end, and JCC takes possession at their end of the ice. Owen Van Brocklin skates this behind the net, passes this over, and this comes out into the neutral. Oh, got touched by somebody on the bench. Looks like it may have been Avery Zenger that touched that one. Face off won by Hardy. Comes back to the point for Hayes. Sends this back forward. Hardy off of his skate. Goes to Green. Green tries putting this on net. Not able quite to do that. Mason Savage picks it up on the near side. Rips this off the boards to try to get it out to Weinbar. Not able to. DeRoma cuts off the angle. Puts his puck in deep. And Nate Van Wee back in the trapezoid. He goes down. Got his foot caught on something. Soft check, centering pass made by Hardy, picked off by JCC. Coming back the other way, Jefferson Community College leaning centering pass, tried to be made by Owen Bismarck, not able to connect to get that out there. Sliding around, Savage can't do it. Or by, yeah, it was Savage. Near side, Callison sends this up, or takes this up along the boards, turns this puck over to Tyler Sovey, who fires this forward. Turned right back by Vermont. Save made by Presley Patron. Moving up, Kellen Duffy. Duffy sends this all the way across and deep. First one through it. Tyler Sovey able to get to that puck, avoids the icing, punches this puck around for Kellen Duffy on the near side. Duffy can't get to it. Taken into the corner by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald sends this behind the goal for Cohen. Cohen rips this up into the neutral zone. Caught there by Carson Barrett. Barrett turns, passes this puck over for Sovey. Sovey dumps it in, goes off for a change. This is played back behind the net by Braun. Stall there, going after it. Mason Jeeves. Jeeves battling, forechecking on that puck. Pulls this in the zone and almost able to connect with Dylan Johnson, but didn't. Carson Barrett picks this puck up. Barrett, long pass out to Johnson. Johnson fires it to the far corner. DeRoma picks it up for Vermont. DeRoma has Tanner Esposito on him. DeRoma able to get that puck up, taken away by Johnson. Dylan backhands this over into the corner for Esposito. Esposito goes into the corner with Hayes. Puck comes back out, and Rizzi grabs it for Vermont and passes it over to whoever's wearing 39. There's a shot and a save by Braun. So, Adam, Zarin, you able to see this game now, I hope? Face off to the left side of Braun. Face off comes over to the boards. Number 5 tries picking it up, sends it around behind for Rizzy. Rizzy passes this out. A little short, goes behind Wide Awake, taken away by Tanner Esposito. Esposito fans on the first shot, able to wrap him up, but Rizzy comes over to clear the zone. Back inside the zone with it. Dylan Johnson shot and a save made. Rebound comes over at the hash mark. Flicked out into the neutral zone by Vermont. Picked up by Nate Van Wee. Nate passes over for Esposito. No icing as Esposito or Wide Awake. One of them got a piece of it. Vermont trying to come up on the far side. Tough pass. Makes its way over to Wide Awake. Wide Awake. A little shoulder by Evan Sanford. Sanford recovers. Puts his puck behind the net over for Cameron Weinbar. He can't get to it. Fenner over to make a play, and Nate Van Wee takes that puck, sends it down the length of the ice. Hustling after it is to Dios, and he gets to it first for the icing. I'll bring the face-off all the way back down to the Cannoneers end of the rink. Cameron Weinbar taking the face-off against St. Simon. St. Simon pulls his puck back. McQuingle sends it back into the trapezoid, comes up to Fitzgerald at the point, puts us into the slot. To St. John, couldn't get the shot off. Nate Van Wee takes that puck away. Nate, pass over to Bismarck, busy, bringing his puck forward, loses at the blue line. Nice back checking made by Busy, gets this puck up to Savage. Savage in deep. Puck comes up high. Weinbar backhands this over into the corner. Coming around with it is Mason Savage. Savage fires this, passes this forward. Comes up to the point. Ripped by Carson Barrett and save made by Braun. Face off to the left side of Braun, won by JCC. Puck goes into the corner, picked up by Drew Blevins. Blevins tries to wrap around, and diving on top of that puck is Braun for the save. Another face-off. Drew Blevins lined up to take the draw for JCC. Pushes his puck into the middle. Skating after it is Green. Green sent this across the neutral zone. Finds its way to JCC's Carson Barrett. Barrett fires this forward. Blevins knocks this into the offensive end. Coming in behind Mason Jeeves. Jeeves wrapping around back behind the net and out in front shot. And it goes back behind the goal again. Grabbed by number 14, Hayes. Hayes tried to clear it. DeRoma trying to help out. Puck turned back by JCC into the corner. It goes centering pass. Nothing happening there. Drew Blevins trying to get to it. Mason Jeeves turns, fires his puck over for Tyler Sobey. Sobey rips this to the far corner. Pass into the middle. Sobey shot. Save made by Braun. Puck sent all the way across. That should be an offsides. They missed that one. Vermont trying to come around near side. Drew Blevins trying to hold it in. Puck comes out. DeRoma takes it. DeRoma goes into the O-zone at the hash mark. Loses that puck as he's pinched off of it by Dylan Johnson. Johnson backhands this puck out for Whitmore. Whitmore skating around back behind the net. Loses it in the corner. Taking it away is DeDios. DeDios puts this into the near corner. Picked up by Greenberg. Greenberg skates this puck up, passes this all the way across, speared at and touched by Daniel Keegan, trying to go through. There's a shot and a save made by Presley Patron. Face off to the left side of Patron. Won by Vermont as they push that puck forward. Going in after it is Zarin. Dropping back at JCC's Kellen Duffy. Passes behind the net. Puck comes up at the hash mark to Daniel Keegan and trying to help get that out, and it's turned back by Vermont. JCC rips this out. That got touched by somebody at the blue line, and that somebody was from Vermont. Puck played on by Braun as he gives it to DiDios. JCC forechecking. Colin Whitmore got a piece of that puck. And the referee called a hand pass in the defensive zone. Then it would be out in the neutral zone. You can make a hand pass in the defensive zone. We went over this last game. Did they not do the last game? Puck comes out through the neutral zone. Callison going after it, retreating back. Charlie Gorman. Gorman comes away with this puck. Gorman now battling against Rizzi. Skating out with it is Caden Perini. Where was he yesterday? Puck played on by Patron behind the net. Nate Van Wee with it. Van Wee looking, tries a hard pass out to Perini, misses it, and he ends up icing the puck. First one, too, it's going to be Cohen, and that'll bring the face-off back down to the JCC end of the rink. So there's about 24 people watching this game. If you've got a free hand, maybe you're watching this on your TV, or you've got somebody near you with an available phone, call somebody. Have them watch this game also. This game is going to be tight. These two teams are well matched, as you can tell so far. Vermont wins this draw, comes back. Rizzi, one touch, shot, save made by Petrini. It's still loose over on the side of the net. What is happening with that? Icing avoided. JCC with the puck from back behind. Out in front, shot fired by Owen Bismarck. Save made. Rebound held in by Kellen Duffy. Battle for that puck in the corner. Trying to get it out is Hayes. And that puck is able to make its way over to McQuingle. Oh, no, not McQuingle. It's wide awake. And they crossed off sides. Fenner too far ahead of the play. Just under 12 minutes to go. Hey, we got 24 people watching instead of 23. Somebody listen and call a friend. Now, reach your head out of your closest window and yell to everyone in your neighborhood to tune to YouTube, the Dan-Dalin, a positive influence, and watch this game between JCC and Vermont. Somebody get Bernie Sanders on this thing. He's going to want to see this game. Puck comes over, dumped in by Owen Bismarck. Picked up in the defensive end by DiDios. DiDios sends this out into the neutral zone, hustling over. Carson Barrett picks his puck up. Barrett trying to cycle this around. G. St. Simon gave him some pressure. Puck comes up off the stick of Cameron Weinbar. Oh, it's an icing. I thought Weinbar. Oh, yeah, Weinbar did touch him, but he was on the wrong side of the center line. So that's why it's an icing. And bring this face off down by Presley Patron. Mason Savage gets that out into the neutral zone, going to pick that puck up to Dio. And Vermont able to get that back to the Jefferson end of the arena. Carson Barrett picks this puck up, passes it up into the neutral zone to get it to Mason Savage. Savage cycles this back at his own end of the ice. Now he comes out into the neutral zone, goes to the right side, dumps this into the corner, chases after it. First one, too, it's going to be Fitzgerald, though, who's able to send this puck up. That got touched by Weinbar. Zarin's going after it. Presley plays it back behind the net and passes it over to Tyler Sovey. Sovey getting wrapped up by Zarin. Zarin battling. Zarin has that puck. Passes it over for Callison. Callison centering pass. Center point. Shot. Save made. Rebound comes over to the top of the faceoff circle. DeRoma sends this across. Oh, if he had only looked before he sent that puck across, it may have gone on net or closer to the guy that was sitting in the slot. DeRoma gloves that down, now flings it forward, goes to the far side. Owen Van Brocklin chasing after it. On his tail is Greenberg. Puck turned back into the Cannoneers' end of the ice. Callison getting it. Now Owen Van Brocklin picks this up. Van Brocklin trying to get it by Wide Awake, unable to. Wide Awake coming in. Couldn't get that shot off as he was taken out by Cameron Weinbar. DeRoma sends that back, fires that shot, blocked out in front. Rizzi from the point. Oh, and he passed it across to Wide Awake. I thought he was going to take a shot. He had me fooled. Caden Perini plays that puck, goes out through the neutral zone. No icing, it's waved off. The goalie, Braun, comes out, plays this around behind the net to the side that Cameron Weinbar is not occupying. Wide Awake dumps that puck in, tries chasing after it. First one at it is Fenner. Fenner to Wide Awake. Wide Awake can't find it at his feet. JCC takes over. Mason Jeeves brings this over to his trapezoid. He avoids Cohen. Near side, Rizzi trying to hold that puck in and does. Fenner turns around to go after it. Nate Van Wee, closest man to that puck. Van Wee back through his net, passes his puck up, and it comes across for Mason Jeeves. Jeeves shot fired. Stick save. Braun goes off the far board. Turning and shooting. Blocked by Rizzi. Wide Awake, I think. Coming out. No, it's Fitzgerald coming out with that puck. Now Bay turns it back. Fenner dumps it in. It's back behind the JCC goal. Played on by Evan Sanford. Sanford gives this to Barrett. Barrett fires this up. This goes through the zone. Somebody touched it. Hayes chasing it down. No icing. Waved off. Hayes has this puck. Gets it by Drew Blevins. Passes it to Tate. Tate tries sending it along. Not able to. Tate coming back. Now Blevins has it. Blevins picks this puck up. Shot fired. Save made. Grab by number 19. Hardy. Turned over in the neutral zone. Carson Barrett trying playing it up against the boards. Fitzgerald turns it back. Tate in after that puck, and it floats its way over to the Sandman. Evan Sanford fires this over to his right side for Carson Barrett. Barrett races up over the blue line through the neutral zone into the ozone. Cuts to the middle. Puck is taken away. Shot fired by Dylan Johnson, and he missed the whole side of the barn. Carson Barrett dumps that back in. Glove down by Vermont. They put that on net. Goes to the corner. Barrett over to play it. Offensive line, partial change. Puck comes out. Hayes retreats back to pick it up for Vermont. Hayes collects it in the corner, sends it along the boards. Grabbed at the center line by Charlie Gorman. Who is it? Oh, it's Duffy is 11. I'm sorry. Right, Gorman's not even here, is he? Oh, is he? Oh, okay. Marchand brings this in for Vermont. Shot fired. Blocker save. Presley Patron. JCC rips this all the way down. It's a leading pass for Dylan Johnson. Johnson backhand shot. Out of Dylan Johnson buried. Nice. Another shot. There's a save. Rebound grab by JCC. Puck comes over to Weinbar. Weinbar sends this in, blocked in front, trying to pop around his Van Brocklin. Owen puts this into the middle. Turning shot made by Mason Savage. Misses. Puck grabbed on the far side or being guarded by DeSaint Simon. Comes up, loose in the middle, top of the slot. Van Brocklin couldn't bring it with him. Now he reaches back, grabs that back. Van Brocklin overside. The one-timer. Oh, oh. All right, still waiting for the public address announcer. Let's see. First goal. Drew Blevins picks that puck up, sends it down to Dios, grabs it in his zone, passes it out into the neutral zone to 22, Zerin. What was the penalty? Me neither. If anything, I thought Zerin got roughed. He was standing there and he just got hit. All right, so JCC first goal scored by number 93, Dylan Johnson, assisted by 19, Owen Bismarck. From 16, Tanner Esposito. Time of the Cannoneers' first goal, 12:54 of the first period. JCC second goal scored by number 9, Cameron Weinbar, assisted by number 10, Owen Van Brocklin. From 15, Nate Van Wee. Time of the Cannoneers' second goal, 13:34. Vermont penalty, number 22, Zerin. 2-minute minor for roughing. Number 22, 2 minutes rough. Time of the minor penalty, 13:36 of the first period. And it's a Cannoneer power play. Drew Blevins passes this puck over to Owen Bismarck. Blevins loses it in his skates. Trying to get it out is Fenner, and does. Carson Barrett picks this puck up, sends it back into the O-zone, and it's turned back by Vermont. Grabbed by Mason Savage. That was a nice little dipsy doodle move, or he almost fell down. Savage around near side, sends this back out to the point for Barrett. Barrett slides over, passes this puck all the way across to Owen Bismarck. Bismarck passes it over to Weinbar. Weinbar sends it into Busy. Busy comes out, shot that gets deflected, goes off the glass. Grabbed by Savage on the near side. Savage hits Barrett. Barrett gives this over to Bismarck. Bismarck shot, save made. Rebound goes into the corner, speared at by Hayes. And Vermont's able to clear the zone. 17 seconds remaining in the player advantage for JCC. Carson Barrett sends that back behind the net for Cameron Weinbar. Weinbar skates up with that puck in the middle into the neutral zone, makes his way around Callison, uses Drew Blevins as a blocker for Rizzi, comes in, gets that shot off, save made. Puck goes over to the corner, and Bismarck gives it to Blevins. Blevins around and tries to go as hard as he can at the pads, and you can't get through them. Mason Savage to Weinbar. Weinbar tries passing it back, and it flutters. Rizzi picks that puck up and passes it over to Callison. Callison back to Rizzi. Rizzi loses it to Barrett. Barrett goes to Weinbar. Weinbar to Savage. Savage coming in, leaning in, and DeDios takes Savage out of the play. Puck goes into the corner. Savage still has the biscuit on his twig. Coming in is Bismarck. Wraparound shot, save, rebound, save made. Puck goes behind the net. Braun looking for it. Goes over to the far corner. Drew Blevins finds that puck. Blevins going after it, getting pushed on by McQuingle, I believe. Lemon shot, kick save, rebound picked up by Vermont's number 8, De St. Simon. De St. Simon gets hit at the hash marks by Dylan Johnson. This puck comes out and goes all the way down to Roma. First one to it. That's going to be an icing. And it'll bring the face-off down to the JCC zone. JG, good to see you. Bay Dog is working the camera, just so you know. Kellen Duffy with that puck. Passed over, now out into the neutral zone. Vermont dumps it back in. Duffy's going to chase after it. Grab it in the trapezoid. Coming in is Tate. Duffy has to pass this puck over to Sanford, who sends this out into the neutral zone for Colin Whitmore. Here's Whitmore back behind the net, centering pass. There's another centering pass. Oh, and JCC can't connect. Battle for that puck over on the side, goes into the corner. Now jump back behind the net, and Vermont's Hayes picks it up, tries to get it over to Tate. Tate can't clear it out. Shot fired, blocked in front. And Vermont able to send this puck into the neutral zone, and the Sandman collects that puck up, puts it back into the neutral zone. Nice toe drag by Duffy to dump that puck in. Chased down by Hayes. Hayes gets this into the neutral zone. Tanner Esposito almost had it. Now coming away with this puck is Greenberg. Moves it forward. It goes to Odbert Brockman. Puck zigzags its way through the neutral zone. Dylan Johnson penetrates into the O zone, loses that puck. Now it comes back to him. Can't find it. Coming back the other way is Callison. Callison over the blue line, shot misses grossly. Puck comes all the way out into the neutral zone, and Greenberg picks it up. Vermont ices the puck. I'm going to get a drink of water. Shout out to my sponsors. Here they are. They're awesome. Check them out. Say hi. Face off to the left side of Braun, won by JCC. They take that puck in deep. DiDio battling for that puck, can't get it. Loose puck on the far side. Comes out, Vermont. Saucers this in, goes on net. And that gets covered up by Presley Patron at the 1 minute mark of the first period. Face off to the left side of Patron. Weinbar pushes his puck forward, gets speared out into the neutral zone. Cohen there for Vermont, sends this back in. It goes off of Weinbar into the bench, but the ref didn't see it. Is it the glass? Okay. All right, it hit the glass right in front of, is that Zanger standing there? What? I can't hear you. You're not facing me. Oh. Face off, Weinbar puts it over to the boards. Kellen Duffy tries to get it out. And that one goes out of play. Officials having a conversation with Barrett. I don't know why. Weinbar facing off against Green. Green gets us to the middle. And that is saved by Patron. Puck popped in by Drew Blevins, tried to pass it over, couldn't do it. Vermont coming back the other way. Rizzi drops this back for Fenner. Fenner sends it ahead. Barrett takes it and pops that puck around. This gets deflected in and out and back out again. Just saying, Dio trying to send that in, and that'll do it. That's the end of the first period. After one period of play, it is Jefferson Community College Cannoneers 2, the University of Vermont 0. Shout out to my sponsors. Let's talk about Two Broke Moms, located on North Jefferson Street in Pulaski, New York, next to the Dollar General. They can put anything on anything. Yeah, you could bring something in, and they can put stuff on it to personalize it, make it something special. You could buy something that they have already made, or you could ask them to order something in. There's over 20 local vendors from the Pulaski area that's selling their goods as well. You can find them there. Make special requests. That's a great thing about small business owners. They are there to take care of you. Stop in, say hi to Jess and Jen at Two Broke Moms. Two Broke Moms, help us be less broke. Hashtag crazy. JCC in the maroon and gold, going from right to left. University of Vermont in white, going from left to right. Puck comes back to the Vermont end of the ice. Cameron Weinbar trying to drive that through. Grabbed by Rizzi. Rizzi goes back behind his net, loses it. Weinbar turns around, pushes into the middle. Picked up by Kellen Duffy, not able to get a shot on net. That goes back behind the goal, makes its way past Weinbar. Duffy's going to stop this. And coming over, that puck gets knocked away from Owen Bismarck. Retreating back, Carson Barrett to pick that puck up. Shovels it around for Duffy. Vermont's De Dios dumps that in. And now coming out with this puck, Mason Savage. Savage nudges this forward, chasing it down in the corner is Fitzgerald. And somebody accidentally or purposely hit the buzzer. I don't know why. Oh, clock error? Yeah, that was an accidental buzzer press. So we'll have a face-off in the Vermont zone. I would think they would do it at center ice, but Drew Blevins facing off against D. St. Simon. D. St. Simon pulled that puck back. Now driving it forward is Vermont. Puck taken away by Mason Jeeves. Turned back over again. Now sent out. And here's Nate Van Wee. Looks like he's playing left wing. How's that, huh? Puck ripped around far side. Oh, awkward bounce. Held in by Van Brocklin. Now shot out again. Caught by Van Brocklin. Comes over to the center point position. Fires this into the corner. Centering pass. And comes over for Tyler Sovey. Not able to connect to put that home. Puck comes up for Van Wee. He fires this. That gets deflected. Redirected over to the far side. Coming back to play on that puck is Callison. Callison comes around near side. Couldn't get it by Drew Blevins. Blevins tries passing this to Sovey. You can't connect to him because of DeRoma. Blevins shot, save made. Knocked away by Braun. Callison able to get that out. How are you? I was wondering where you were yesterday. Now coming out, here's Owen and Van Brocklin. Van Brocklin dumps this puck in. Fitzgerald back to pick it up for Vermont. Sends this out into the neutral zone, caught by Kellen Duffy. Duffy brings this over the blue line. Fitzgerald brings it back out. He's got Whitmore on his tail. Drop pass back for Greenberg. Shot, blocker, save made by Presley Patron. Is it his stick? I thought it went off his blocker. Zarin over the blue line, fires low, blocked by Duffy, follow-up shot, save made by Patron. Puck goes into the corner, and Dylan Johnson will play it. Zarin out in middle, there's a shot, comes back behind the net. Duffy passes it over to Colin Whitmore. Whitmore along the board, sends this all the way across. Fitzgerald picks it off before it leaves the neutral zone, dumps this puck back in, goes back into the trapezoid, grabbed there by the Sandman. Evan Sanford puts this over on the near side. Greenberg stops it, returns it back. Sandman gives this to Duffy. Duffy goes down. Puck comes up. Whitmore pops it out to Tanner Esposito. Here's Espo. Backhands this in deep for Whitmore. Whitmore in the corner, going to work against Zarin. Pulls it out by Hayes. Comes out into the slot. Duffy shot. Saved made by Braun. See if we're able to see that. Not that way. Weinbar taking the face off against De St. Simon. Nope, not De St. Simon. That is Hardy. Puck comes across the Vermont zone, tried to get cleared out. Mason Savage tries holding it. Owen Van Brocklin sends it in and all the way around. Weinbar picks it up, sends this back out to the point. Ripped in by Barrett. That gets blocked up high and falls on the stick of Weinbar. Weinbar to Bismarck. And that's a save made by Braun. Weinbar in for the face-off against Fenner. And that puck goes up too high, hits the ceiling, comes back down. Weinbar, Fenner. Fenner wins, gets this puck around to McQuingle, who sends us out into the neutral zone. Puck gets turned back by Carson Barrett. Barrett chasing after that with Fenner. Fenner sends us around. Barrett in front of him has that puck, rips it across to Bismarck. Gets us out of the zone. McQuingle tries settling it down. Puck comes back for Vermont. They pass this up, and here is Wide Awake. And Wide Awake is caught snoozing. Here's Busy. Backhand pass. Tried to drop it for Mason Savage. Taken away for Vermont. Sent all the way back. And Barrett's the first one to get there. That's going to be an icing. And we'll bring the face-off all the way down to the Vermont zone. No teddy bears, though. I don't know how far away the University of Vermont is from Burlington, but the Burlington Teddy Bear Factory, right? I think that's the place I'm thinking of. McQuingle battling for that puck. Taken away by Jeeves. Jeeves forces that puck into the corner, sends this back up to the point for Nate Van Wee. Van Wee tried feeding back to Jeeves, picked off by McQuingle. McQuingle passes across to Rizzi. Rizzi into the offense. Oh, no. Fenner. What was he doing in there? I didn't see. Was he ahead or did he jump the board and come on the ice? Do you know? One of the two. Either way, offside. Levin sends this against the boards. Allison drives this puck in deep. Evan Sanford over there to play that puck. Almost went out. And a little short pass to Jeeves. Jeeves at the blue line loses that puck. Fitzgerald takes it away. Marchand collects it. Marchand board pass. Intercepted by Tyler Sovey. Sovey over the blue line into the ozone. Shot, save, rebound. Grabbed by Marchand of Vermont. He's in the corner trying to figure out how to backhand saucer pass. Could not do it. And that puck gets sent out of play by Drew Blevins. Face-off won by JCC. Daniel Keegan passes that puck up. Centering pass is blocked by Vermont. They send this puck into the corner. Tanner Esposito trying to play on it. Puck pulled out by D. St. Simon. Keegan over to Duffy. Duffy fires this in, gets deflected against the board, sent around behind by Colin Whitmore on the far side. Dylan Johnson grabs that puck. Can't do too much with it. Picked up by DeDios. DeDios can't get it out past Keegan. And that pass to Sanford was picked off. And JCC's going to reset. Not very well, though. Callison coming back in. Callison forced in deep by Duffy. Puck comes up high for Zarin. Zarin releases that puck and absorbs a check from Colin Whitmore. Loose puck along the board, centered into Zarin. Zarin steps up, shuffles this in. That dish goes off of Callison and goes into the corner. From the point, one-timer shot, save made. The rebound goes into the corner. Now against the boards. Dump back in, deep around on the far side. Daniel Keegan chasing after it. Gets kicked forward by Greenberg. And now Duffy turns this puck, trying to turn it back. Zarin's on him, blocks it. Now Whitmore's trying to help out, gets his puck out into the neutral zone. McQuingle knocks it down. And it's Keegan tries dumping that puck in. Daniel's going to have to try again. The referee was in his way. Puck finds its way on the twig of Dylan Johnson. Johnson coming around. Uh-oh! Zarin in on the breakaway. Zarin backhand. Zarin goes off the post. Carson Barrett sends that behind the net, near side, telling Duffy, trying to pick it up and keep it away from McQuingle. Bay in there as well. Puck comes up to the point, grab by DeRoma. DeRoma fires it in, blocked in front by Duffy. And here's Whitmore bringing this out through the neutral zone into the O-zone. Whitmore in, shot, save made by Braun. There's Colin. Weinbar facing off against Rizzi. And we'll do it again. Weinbar has that wrapped up with Rizzi. Puck comes free. Weinbar pulls it back. Wide awake there. Can't get it out. Held in by Barrett. Puck goes through the trapezoid over onto the near side. Coming over to play on it, Owen Bismarck. Weinbar back in. And, oh! It was tried to be clearing, and that is dumped in by Mason Savage. We'll find out from the PA announcer who gets the assist. Weinbar in for the faceoff. Backhands his puck off the boards for Bismarck. Bismarck can't spear it in. Weinbar passes it back to Owen Van Brocklin on D. Van Brocklin fires this across to Savage. Savage dumps this in. Weinbar went to go play it on the far side, but the goaltender sent it to near side. So Jefferson Community College goal scored by number 71, Mason Savage, assisted by number 19, Owen Bismarck from number 9, Cameron Weinbar. 71 from 19 from 9, the time of the Cannoneers' third goal, 8:18 of the second period. Here's Savage in over the blue line. Has Fitzgerald all over him, drops his back for Busy. Busy takes us around. Centering pass, and Weinbar not able to get that shot off. Puck comes up high. Fenner has it. 1-on-2. Fenner trying to get around Sanford. Kind of does, but right there waiting for the puck is Nate Van Wee. He fires us up. Savage jumps it in. Savage and Fitzgerald going after that puck. Nice stick lift by Savage. Fitzgerald stays with it, though. Can't get that puck out by Charlie Gorman. Good to see Gorman out there on the ice. Connor Lamb, far side. I don't know if Connor's girlfriend's watching, but hello, how are you? Puck held in by Charlie Gorman. Puts that shot on net. Save made. Lamb in the corner. Puts a little hit on. There's a follow-up check by Caden Perini. And this is sent all the way down. Sanford out ahead of it, and that's going to be an icing and bring the faceoff back down to Vermont. Let's go to Vermont. Drew Blevins taking the face-off against Rizzi. Nope. He gets tossed. Tyler Sovey taking the face-off against Rizzi. Sovey wins, sends his puck back to Van Brocklin. Van Brocklin dumps his puck in. Going around after it is McQuingle. McQuingle comes away, sends this behind the net. Drew Blevins chasing after it, as is Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald had a piece of it. Now Tate can't get it by. And here is Sovey. Tyler, shot blocked out in front. Vermont clears this out into the neutral zone. Puck is grabbed by Kellen Duffy. Duffy crisscrosses the neutral zone. Fitzgerald turns his puck back. Callis in there, pulls this. Now he's trying to move forward with it, tries to fling off a shot. Had to get a stick free from Mason Jeeves. Drew Blevins sends that ahead for Jeeves. McQuingle to it first. Blevins cuts him off. Sends that through the trapezoid, picked up by DeRoma. DeRoma tries getting it out. Tyler Sovey has another play. Passes that puck to Mason Jeeves. Jeeves tries giving it back to Sovey, and it's taken away by Vermont. McQuingle, near side of the trapezoid, flicks this out. Caught by Sovey. Sovey passes out. Oh, to the point. Intercepted by Callison. Callison, number 47, over the blue line. Vermont stays on sides. There's a shot. Glove save by Presley Patron. And there it is. There's that replay. Oh, and it won't stop. Or will it? It is. We're live. Esposito in the corner sends that behind the net for Sandman. Sandman can't keep it. Comes out for Colin Whitmore. There's Whitmore on the near side, doing everything he can to keep that puck in front of him. Stops, turns around, now sends that puck into the corner. Hayes going to work against Tanner Esposito. Puck comes back out for Colin. Colin to Espo. Espo loses it. Green picks it up for Vermont. Makes sense because Vermont's very green. Passes this puck up to Greenberg. From Green to Greenberg in Vermont. And it's a goal! Goal scored by number 9, Green. Time of the goal, 12:20. We'll find out who any assists are awarded to. Weinbar taking the face-off against D. St. Simon. That puck gets jumped in deep by Savage. Not too deep. It's only 100 feet. Weinbar trying to find an opening to get that puck. DeRoma there blocking. That puck comes out high, and it's caught in the infield by Braun. So University of Vermont goal scored by number 9, Green, assisted by number 20, Greenberg. Time of the Vermont goal, 12:20 of the second period, and they trail 3-1. Puck comes around for Callison. Callison tries setting this to the far corner, goes off the glove of Kellen Duffy. Duffy goes back, first one to get to that puck. Duffy looking for somebody to pass to, making a break for it was Mason Jeeves, but that gets intercepted by Callison. Fires that shot, glove saved by Patron. Drew Blevins and Rizzi facing off. Drew wins the draw. Puck goes back to Barrett. Barrett passes this up for Sovey. Sovey shovels it to Mason Jeeves. Jeeves comes in, centering pass. No shot made. Fenner sweeps it. This puck gets it up to wide awake. Wide Awake moves it ahead of him, goes right to Sanford. Sanford puts that on net. Pad save. Drew Blevins plays it off the boards, fires it, gets deflected by McQuingle, comes out into the neutral zone. Fenner loses it. He overskates that puck. Sovey passes back to Sanford. Sanford sends this out into the neutral zone, and McQuingle dumps this in deep. Sanford is going to have to play this puck. Backhands it for Sovey, but Fenner cuts it off. Out in front, Rizzy's shot. Save made. Presley Patron. Rizzy and Weinbar. Puck goes back behind the goal. Fenner going after it. Fenner sends this up to the point for Jaroma. Jaroma rifles this in, and that's a save made. And laying out, completely prone, Presley Patron. Or Patron. Boy, that R moves around on me. Sanford tries sending that forward, but a falling Wide Awake gets that puck to Rizzy. Rizzy fires that right into the breadbasket of Presley Patron. Zarin taking a face off against Weinbar. Hayes holds that in. Still in. Van Wee passes this over to Van Brocklin. Van Brocklin crisscrosses it back to Savage. Savage to Weinbar, and that gets deflected into the goalie's glove. Zarin and Esposito. Esposito wins this draw. Van Wee with it, fires that shot, gets blocked by Greenberg, goes into the corner. Esposito picks it up. Van Wee steps up, sends this back for Espo. Espo out to Van Wee. Van Wee sends this in, and that is gloved by Braun. Johnson to Van Wee. Van Wee fires. Save made. Rebound goes over on the sideboards. Van Brocklin can't hold that. Nate's got to go back and pick that puck up in front of his goal. Takes it back into the trapezoid, guarded by Greenberg. Van Wee stops short. Greenberg skates on by. Van Wee able to pass this over to Van Brocklin. Van Brocklin crisscrosses to Esposito. Esposito touches it ahead. Fitzgerald ahead of him. Gets to that puck first. Fitzgerald comes, crisscrosses the zone. Collecting that puck off the boards is Dylan Johnson. Johnson going on to the right side. Left-hander comes in with the backhand shot, and it's a goal! What's that? Bailey, just do your job. I don't know. Okay, come on. JCC goal scored by number 93, Dylan Johnson, as he goes short side. Unassisted is my belief. Let's see what happens. Drew Blevin centering pass. That gets missed by Sovey. Marchand passed over. Shot taken by just St. John. Gets missed. Just St. somebody. St. Simon. That's it. St. Simon, not St. John. Rizzi in for the face-off against Blevins. Puck comes out. McQuingle trying to play it. Tyler Sobey trying to play it by him. Not able to. Blevins comes up behind. Sobey has that, and they're offside. Centering pass missed by everybody stepping up. Carson Barrett passes over to Duffy. Shot wide left. Bay going back to get it in the corner. Not there in time. Charlie Gorman holding that puck in. Now it comes out to Duffy. Duffy, center point. Shot fired. Loose puck. Back in. It's in the top of the slot. Comes out for Duffy. Duffy passes it back out to the center point. Carson Barrett can't catch it. Sends it over to the far point. Catches up to that puck. Connor Lamb with it along the sideboard. Coming over to help out Charlie Gorman. Lamb going into the corner. He puts a hit on. Bay comes back. He gets hit. Connor Lamb's like Oprah back there. You get a check. You get a check. And this official says you get a cross check. And he's giving it to Connor Lamb, who wasn't even involved in the play when the whistle was blown. Now, those are some of the softest checks I've seen Connor Lamb give. JCC leads 4-1. So, Jefferson Community College minor penalty. Number 23, Connor Lamb, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Number 23, 2 minutes cross-check. Time of the minor penalty, 17:28 of the second period. As a pass across the 1-T by Wide Awake, misses wide. That centering pass gets blocked by Patron. In the corner now, puck comes out to Fenner. Fenner passes back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald just barely holds it in. Bismarck almost knocked that puck out. Oh, and that pass gets redirected, misses the slot entirely. Fitzgerald's got to retreat all the way back and pick that puck up. Pass it. Oh, deflected. Bismarck has it. Oh, Fitzgerald takes it away. Fitzgerald to Greenberg. Greenberg taken out at center ice by Cameron Weinbar. Puck comes back to Owen Van Brocklin. He passes it over to Kellen Duffy. Back to Van Brocklin. Van Brocklin sends it forward. Fitzgerald blocks it. Knocked out of the air by Owen Bismarck. Great hand-eye coordination. You'd think he'd have a goal this game. Here's Fenner. Fires that puck across. Knocked forward. Grab by Duffy. Gets this back out into the neutral zone. Weinbar at the blue line trying to do something with it. Vermont sends this puck out. 30 seconds remaining in the penalty kill for Connor Lamb. 1 minute remaining in the period. Braun stalls that puck on the side for Fitzgerald. 15 seconds to go in the player advantage for Vermont. Here comes Fitzgerald right down the middle. Moves over to the right side. Tried to use Fenner as a blocker, but Esposito didn't fall for it. Owen Van Brocklin back behind the net. Has Rizzi on him. Driving him against the board. Puck comes loose. Centering pass attempted. Marchand shot. Misses. Comes all the way around. Chasing after it is DiDio. Esposito brings that back into the zone. Loses it. 12 seconds to go. Here's Callison coming back the other way. Callison tried taking a shot. That gets blocked by Duffy. Puck sent down to Dio. Gloves it at center ice, and that's going to do it. After 2 periods of play, JCC leads University of Vermont by a score of 4-1. And we'll be back in about a dozen minutes with fresh ice. All right, hockey fans, we are back for period number 3. I've been eating M&Ms, and during intermission, I dropped my M&Ms on the ground. They spilled all over the place, but thankfully, they have a thin candy shell that protected them from getting dirty. I was able to pick them all up, brush them off, and eat them all up. M&Ms, absolutely delicious. Saving my Oreo cookies for the drive home. So 20 minutes up on the clock. Jefferson Community College with a 4-1 lead over the University of Vermont. Officials are in place. Vermont's ready. JCC itching to get on the bus. Cameron Weinbar ready for his face-off against Zarin. Number 22. There's a lean. Puck comes back behind Zarin. Battle for it. And Vermont comes away with this puck. Greenberg dumps it into the corner. Chasing after it, Owen Van Brocklin. Van Brocklin sends his back up along the boards for Mason Savage. Savage flicks this by Zarin, goes off the back of Bismarck. Bismarck goes over to try to grab it, sent back into his own zone by the Dios. And there's a whistle. Face off to the left side of Braun. Third and final period. JCC in the maroon and gold, going from left to right. Vermont in the white and green, going from right to left. And Braun covers that one up with his right leg pad. No. Face-off pulled back by Drew Blevins to Owen. Van Brocklin comes back to Owen at the point. Sends us in. Tipped in front by Drew. Save made by Braun. Puck goes to the corner. Now back into the trapezoid. Chasing it down is Mason Jeeves. Jeeves sends this back through. Tyler Sobey trying to get it. What a pretty girl. Oh my goodness, how old is she? 12 weeks. Golden? Sorry, 12-week-old yellow lab coming to play. Wide awake, backhands this off the boards, chasing it down. Fenner leads with the shoulder, doesn't move. Nate Van Wee. Van Wee passes his puck over to Drew Blevins. Blevins over the blue line. Fenner chasing, shot made, goes off the stick at DeRoma, drops down back behind the goal. De Dios picks it up, goes over on the right side, snaps that puck all the way down. It's on net. Save made, Presley Patron. JCC long pass up, and Dylan Johnson tried to time it, but he crossed the blue line just 1/2 step ahead of the puck. You gotta have a piece of you over that blue line, dragging, and it's going intentional. They're gonna bring that all the way down by Presley Patron. 18 minutes to go in this game. 4-1 JCC lead. Face off won by Drew Barrett. I mean, not Drew. Carson Barrett taking that face off. Here's Carson picking his puck up in the corner, trying to send this puck up along the boards to Dylan Johnson. Johnson fires it across for Whitmore. Whitmore had a hard time moving that puck, and De Dios got in his way now. Whitmore taken out of that play. Vermont coming back the other way. Callison has his pocket picked by Dylan Johnson. Dylan runs right into Hayes, and his stick is shattered in half. And there are a couple of little boys down by the glass that are dying to get those pieces of stick. They've got about 4 broken sticks that they've been getting autographed by as many collegiate players as they could possibly get. Kellen Duffy with that puck sends it into the corner, comes back up along the boards, and Callison sends this out and all the way across from Marchand. Marchand puts a shot on net. Oh, and sliding through is de St. Simon. They're going to get a penalty for that one. The goalie, Presley Patron, is missing his blocker glove and his stick. Going to pick it up. In front of the net was de St. Simon, and he got thrown down to the ice. Kellen Duffy's going to come over, receiving a penalty for tripping. Meanwhile, JCC wants to know where's the penalty for the train that ran right through Presley Patron in the net. Hey, get a shot of Kellen in the sin bin. Kellen Duffy! Kellen Duffy! You're on camera, bud. JCC penalty number 11, Kellen Duffy. 2-minute minor for tripping. Number 11, 2 minutes trip. Time of his first minor penalty of the season. 3:10 of the third period. Vermont on the power play, dancing around with this puck. Callison from the point, sends it all the way across for that guy. He tries giving it back to Diaz. It's cut off by Cameron Weinbar. Weinbar going in, and coming out of the net is the goaltender. Braun spears at that puck and gets it away from Cameron. Hard hit by Bismarck, sending a boy into the corner. Pass comes across to said boy, Marchand. Marchand almost lost this puck around Rizzi, but gave it back to him. Rizzi overshot. Save made by Patron. And JCC rips this all the way down the length of the ice. Played on by Braun. He's going to guard it from Weinbar. Passes that puck over to Fenner. Fenner looking left, right, left, right. He's going to go left. He's got Hayes in front of him. Passes it over, though, and this puck comes back for Hayes. Hayes can't catch it. And that puck, I thought it came out. Owen Van Broecklyn, I thought, got that puck out. Now it's out. Vermont recovers in their end of the ice. 40 seconds left in the penalty kill for Kellen Duffy. Carson Barrett rips that all the way around, comes off the board, shot on goal, save made by Braun. It was going on goal, and if it wasn't there, it would have been a goal. I would count it as a shot. Hayes picks that puck up in front of his goal, goes back into the trapezoid. Bismarck gives him a challenge, passes that puck off, goes all the way across the zone. Back to get it is Carson Barrett. Barrett rips this all the way down. 2 seconds to go, 1 second to go, and the team's return to even strength as Kellen Duffy races over to the bench. Duffy off, and coming on for him is Drew Blevins, and Blevins takes that puck away. Blevins trying to get around McQuingle and is taken out. Wrap around, nothing. Puck is in the slot, and we're going to get a holding penalty against Vermont. University of Vermont penalty number 2, McQuingle. 2-minute minor for holding. Number 2, 2 minutes hold. Time of the minor penalty, 5:29 of the third period, and it's a Cannoneer power play. Got Weinbar, Blevins, and is that Jeeves over there on left wing, or is that Busy? Jeeves playing left wing. On defense, you got Sovey and Barrett. That is an impressive power play line. Jeeves with the puck, gives it back to Barrett. Barrett slides over towards the middle, now gives it back to Jeeves. Jeeves sends this in deep to Weinbar. Weinbar at the trap, puts this out in front, and shot not able to be taken. Stepping up is Jeeves. Curls around, keeps that puck away from Zarin. Jeeves gives this to Weinbar. Weinbar in the center, in the middle. Shot, save made. Rebound collected by Weinbar as he skates out to the top of the zone. Weinbar, pass over to Barrett. Barrett back to Weinbar. Weinbar, shot misses. Comes all the way around near side. Carson hustles over to the point position, trying to save that puck. Callison grabs it and backhands it down the length of the ice. Puck gets stalled by Presley Patron. Gives this to Barrett. Barrett skating up with it on his left side. Barrett cuts back behind Vermont. Barrett goes in deep. Slides around through the trapezoid. Stopped in the corner by DeRoma. Pass that puck over. Comes out up high for Mason Savage. Savage couldn't get a shot off. Gives this to Barrett. Barrett saucers this across. Gets knocked away by Greenberg. Comes back up for Jeeves. Jeeves gives this to Savage. Savage sends this into the middle. It's grabbed by Greenberg and knocked away. Puck goes the length of the ice, and that's going to be a high stick as Carson Barrett knocked it out of the air over his head. Next person to touch that puck was the goaltender, Presley Patron. And so since it's the same team, the high stick is called, and we'll have a face-off to the side. No, it's going to be in the neutral zone. No, it should be, yeah, that's what I thought. That official, clueless. The high stick occurred in the neutral zone, so it should move one zone down into the Cannoneers defensive end. Cannoneers win this faceoff. Puck comes up for. Oh, the backhand by Tyler Sovey missed. Nice pass by Johnson. Sovey was just in a tad too deep. Sovey near side cycles around center point position. Now he goes in at the hash mark. Puts this in front. Shot, save made. Goalie has no idea where the puck is. His teammate has it, and he clears the ice. Puck pushed over into the corner by Patron. As Fenner has it, Fenner passes this back out into the neutral zone for Hayes. Hayes puts this on goal, save made. Teams return to even strength. Pass back behind the net for Nate Van Wee. Nate passes this up for Dylan Johnson. Johnson takes this into the neutral zone, and he's knocked off that puck by Rizzy. Rizzy collects all of his clothes, and that puck goes to Patron. Patron covers it up. We're going to have a face-off. Lots of conversation going on between players and officials as Dylan Johnson's escorted to the bench by a referee. That's better than being escorted to the sin bin. $12:14 remaining in this game. Face-off to the left side of Presley. Faceoff goes back into the corner. Van Brocklin grabs it and passes it back to Sanford. Sanford skates up, lifts this puck out into the neutral zone, intended for Charlie Gorman, but it's too far in front of him. Puck comes back, and Van Brocklin gets it. Puck turned over to Green. Now grabbing this puck is Gorman. Charlie can't get very far out of his zone. Puck comes back. The Sandman has it. Here's Evans. Sanford swinging this. Greenberg trying to capitalize on that error. Greenberg centering pass goes right to Sanford, and Sanford skates this puck up and passes it all the way across to Connor Lamb. Lamb fires that puck in. Vermont absorbs the check. Lamb pulls his puck out, centering pass off the goalie into the slot. Lamb picks it up at the hash mark, top of the faceoff circle. Puck drops down, pushed off of it is Charlie Gorman. Puck goes into the corner. Caden Perini after it. Perini in the trap, puts this out in front, nothing doing. Puck ripped over on the near side. Sanford holds it. Greenberg trying to get it out. Sanford trying to push this puck in, and DeRoma able to get that puck out. Back into the zone it goes. Charlie Gorman dumps it in. DeRoma back to get it. DeRoma for Vermont. Ducks underneath a Connor Lamb check. All right, what's happening? Shot, Sovey misses. It's only a 24 square foot goal with a 3 by 1 inch puck. Very hard to hit. Centering pass comes all the way up to the point. for Van Brocklin. Van Brocklin to Espo as Espo back to Van Brocklin. Shot save. Rebound loose. Puck comes up into the slot. And Vermont's able to clear that out into the neutral zone. Puck comes back into the neutral zone for Jeeves. Jeeves pushing this puck ahead. D. St. Simon there, though. Gets that puck and tries returning it up for Bay. Bay not able to get it. Turning, shooting, Drew Blevins. Misses wide right. Marchand picks his puck up. Backhands it up to De St. Simon. De St. Simon loses it. Goes to Marchand. Marchand to Hayes. Hayes passes it over to Green. Back to Marchand. Marchand. Centering pass and a backhand soft shot by Bay goes nowhere. Puck grab by Tyler Sovey. Sovey rips this. It goes across, and that's going to be an icing because Hayes missed it completely at center ice. .941 to go in this game. 4-1 JCC lead over University of Vermont. Rizzi in for the face-off. Wraps that puck up, but it comes out. JCC has it. Pass across. Goes to Mason Jeeves. Jeeves breaks the blue line plane, but that puck comes back. Carson Barrett back to get it. Greenberg on him. Barrett rips this all the way around. Esposito got a piece of that. Comes out into the neutral zone. Tyler Sovey playing it along the blue line. Coming back is Esposito. Wide Awake tried to get that. Now here's Sovey. Sovey dancing his way into the offensive zone. Puck is loose, gets poked away by Braun. Onto the side, now back in the middle. Turning, Esposito shot. Whitmore not able to get there in time. Sliding up Barrett from the point. Pushes his puck back into the trapezoid. Chased around by Hayes. Puck comes out, Wide Awake. Nudges it forward. It goes right to Carson Barrett. Barrett sends this up through the neutral zone, and that's going to be an icing. Will bring the faceoff down by Presley Patron. Shout out to my sponsors. Please visit them, say hello, give them a call, ask them what they do. Support your local businesses. I do. Here's the face-off. Won by Vermont. Stepping up, though, is Dylan Johnson. And Johnson can't bring that puck with him into the offensive end. It gets turned back. JCC takes it in there, and Carson Barrett snaps this up into the neutral, goes off of Fitzgerald, picked up by DiDio. DiDio's got Johnson on him. Johnson gets the puck, pushes DiDio, has that puck in the corner, kicks it out for Whitmore, back to Johnson. Now it gets cleared out somehow, and Carson Barrett's going to have to race after that puck. On his tail is Bay. Puck comes around near side. Esposito turns and fires this into the middle for either Johnson or Whitmore. Neither one gets it to Dio, returns it back into the neutral zone. Hardy trying to get it, and that puck is brought over by Whitmore, and the Cannoneers are offsides because Dylan Johnson was getting mugged by DiDio at the half boards. But Johnson complaining about it. Official coming over, and he's going to either put Johnson in the box, and he's giving him a 5 minutes for unsportsmanlike. Oh, he must have said something about his wife. They only put up 2 minutes. I thought he said 5, though. Oh, yeah, he's coming over. Get Dylan, get Dylan. Official and Dylan's going to be mad as soon as he sees the fiver go up. It's a 0-minute penalty. All right. Clock operator's going to have to check it again. A 10-minute He gave him 5 minutes for unsportsmanlike? Oh my God. What does this ref's wife look like? Puck comes around near side, grabbed by DeRoma. I've never seen that. Oh, is it 5-on-5? So he just gave him a 10-minute misconduct. It shouldn't be up there at all. It should be 10 minutes and a whistle. Really, Johnson's done for the game. Well, this ref is notorious for that. Awkward. Savage. Oh, puck comes up into the slot. Vermont coming out with it. Here's Greenberg weaving his way in, loses that puck, comes back into the neutral zone. Savage gives it to Bismarck. Bismarck in, shot, kick, save, Veron. Rebound comes over onto the side, sent back into the trapezoid. Pass tried to go back out to the point for Van Brocklin. Van Brocklin again holds it, passes over Van Wee, fires, kick, save, rebound, picked up by Cameron Weinbar. Weinbar backhands this behind the net for Savage. Savage sends this over, and now he gets up, and Braun finally holding on to it. Braun trying to apply CPR to Bismarck. Well, Bismarck was prone, face down position. You do CPR on the chest, not the back. Let's see if they hand out a penalty for abuse. I doubt it too. No, this official, he'll actually make the goaltender sit. Charlie Gorman over for the face-off, goes to Connor Lamb. Lamb shovels that towards the corner. Rizzi there for Vermont. Rizzi trying to stay in front of Gorman. Sends this puck around. Wide awake. Passes it up to Fenner. Fenner fires this. Goes into the far corner. Lamb loses his edge. He falls down. Up high is Charlie Gorman trying to get this puck out. Wide awake. Reaching for it. Can't get to it with his stick. Puck comes over across center point position. Picked up and taken away by Caden Perini. Perini backhands this in. Goes on net. Dropped down 4 wide awake. 5:49 to go. And the penalty has been pulled off of the board because it never should have been up there to begin with. Connor Lamb spearing at that puck. Moves it down towards Gorman. Gorman pops this out into the slot. Swung on and missed by Hayes. Gorman going after it with Rizzi. And Connor Lamb checks Charlie Gorman. Why not? Shot fired wide left. Comes off the boards near side. Picked up by Hardy. Hardy skates out with this puck. Oh, no, it's Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald comes in. Shot, save, rebound, swept away. Fenner can't get it. Connor Lamb clears the ice. That goes wide of the net. It's a race to the puck. First one there, Tyler Sovey to avoid the icing. Sovey swings around. He goes down. Puck is still in his zone. Now it's knocked out. Now it's pushed up to wide awake. Ethan wide awake, in shot, save me! Rebound goes up, drops down, wide awake, can't take it with them. And that puck, it's a cross-check. A cross-check penalty invented by that official. Cross-check on Tyler Sovey. And joining him is Mason Jeeves. Probably for unsportsmanlike. Time of the penalty, 15:08. 2 minor penalties. Oh no, that's a fan. So it's a 5-on-3 advantage for Vermont. Vermont has Rizzi, Callison, and Marchand on the forward line. The Dios, and I think it's Hayes or DeRoma, probably DeRoma on defense. Nope, it's Hayes. And that puck gets sent down the length of the ice, starting off on the ice for JCC is Owen Bismarck, Carson Barrett, and Kellen Duffy. Vermont having a hard time getting this puck out all by themselves. Here's Hayes over the blue line, drops it off for Callison. Callison passes across to Marchand. Marchand looking, sends this through to Hayes. Hayes winds up, falls down as he takes that shot. He puts so much behind it. Puck goes into the corner. Kellen Duffy's going to try to stall it for as long as he can. Rizzy spearing at it. Marchand trying to pull it out. And Marchand pokes it through to Callison. Bismarck's able to get that out into the neutral zone. Hayes goes after him, picks it up for Vermont. Passes forward to Dios to Marchand. 1 minute to go in the two-player penalty kill for JCC. Marchand, nonchalant pass to Callison. Callison in the middle, shot, goes high. Rebound. Oh, Marchand misses it. Comes through. Carson Barrett smells blood. But de St. Simon picks that puck up. 40 seconds to go in the PK. There's a pass, comes across, grabbed by Barrett. Barrett goes into his trapezoid, grips it, and rips it the length of the ice. Braun's going to pause that out on the side of his goal, and he's going to wait for Green to come back and pick it up. That's not Green, it's de St. Simon. Now Fenner goes through his legs. He misses that puck. Wide awake to Fenner. Shot high, save made. Rebound grabbed by Bismarck, and he sends it down the length of the ice. 5 seconds to go. How many JCC players does it take to open a door? The answer is one. One Dylan Johnson to let two players onto the ice as the teams return to full strength. And there's an icing. Why not? You played 2 minutes of excellent hockey. Might as well play the next 5 seconds as garbage. 2:38 to go in this game. A 4-1 lead for JCC. Hardy lining up for the face-off, squaring off against Tanner Esposito. Shout out to Tanner's dad. How are you doing, Tim? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Puck comes back. Weinbar to Duffy to Weinbar. Passes this puck up for Barrett. Barrett touches it. Comes back. Tate has it for Vermont. Tate hits Hardy. Hardy shot off the post, and it's back behind the Presley patron, and he lays down to cover that puck up, and Hardy can't believe it. Huh? Oh, I know. Nate Van Wee picks this puck up off the faceoff, sends it around for Tyler Sovey. Sovey passes it up for Jeeves. Jeeves hits Drew Blevins. Blevins shot and save made by Braun on the far side. Now wraparound attempt. Another save by Braun. Vermont trying to come out with this puck. Bay waiting for a pass, never receives it. Hardy dumps in, goes off for his change. Patron plays this puck over to the corner for Jeeves. Jeeves gives it back to Nate Van Wee. Van Wee passes it up to Sovey. Sovey sends this into the neutral zone. This puck waffles its way down through the houses. DeRoma picks it up behind his goal. 1.5 minutes to go. Passes up for Zarin. Zarin touches it up into the O-zone. Tyler Sovey jerks back and picks that puck up in his trapezoid and gives it to Nate Van Wee. Van Wee to Sovey. Sovey up. Saucers this all the way across for Caden Perini. Perini brings this into the corner. DeRoma checks Perini. Perini sits down and eats a cookie. Puck comes out of the zone. Van Wee fires it back in. It goes on net. Hayes falls down for no reason whatsoever. He might want to pick up a Sparks machine and get his skates sharpened before his next game. Zarin, one touch to Greenberg. Nice play. Greenberg back into the middle, and neither Green nor Zarin could pick that puck up. Comes back out. Perini passes puck across to Connor Lamb. Lamb sends it back behind the net, chases after it. 35 seconds to go. Lamb puts us up to the point for Barrett. Barrett couldn't keep it in. He's got to play this back. Sends this in. Oh, and it hits off the stick of Charlie Gorman. Was it his head? No, he tried ducking, but it hit him in the head anyway. And so that's an offsides. That's the first time Charlie's used his head all day, and look what it gets him. In for the faceoff. Bismarck fires it forward. 25 seconds to go. Vizzy pushes that up. Hayes returns it. Going after that puck is Evan Sanford. Sanford gets us into the neutral zone. Whitmore, the under the leg pass to Esposito, and coming in Bismarck before Espo could leave the zone because Espo couldn't catch that pass from Whitmore clean enough, and they went offsides. Face-off speared forward by Bismarck. Cohen goes back to get it. 5 seconds to go. Tate with this puck, dishes it off. Nothing doing. And that's the game. This one ends in a 4-1 victory for Jefferson Community College Cannoneers. They finish the weekend with 2 wins and 1 loss. We have one more game to go in the Burning Leaves tournament, and it's coming up next. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing from the Saranac Lake Civic Center in Saranac Lake, New York. It's a 4-1 victory for JCC as they defeat the University of Vermont. I am the Dan-Dalin, a positive influence, reminding you to don't wait for it to be a good day. Make it a great day.